guys, I'm Layla. Welcome to Raid Lore Stories. Today's lore story is going to be for Gamuran. Now, I have not read this story, however, I'm really hoping that the lore story kind of explains whatever this is. Like this is creepy. Like at first I want to say it was a gem, but it's almost like he's hovering around like a droplet of blood or something. Like it's just, I don't know, it's creepy, guys. So I really hope that this lore story explains that. So I hope you enjoy. Before they were known as Shadowkin, the Dawnlanders of Yokai were made up of many different clans, each with their own hierarchy and ruler. In this regimented society, ceremonies such as marriages, funerals, and festivals played an important role in maintaining social harmony. As such, the various rules were strictly enforced, and to break them incurred the most severe punishments. So it wasn't a case of Gamuran, the lowly stable boy, caught gazing upon his lord's daughter on the day of her wedding. For his transgression, his eyes were put out, so they may never again look upon that which they were not worthy to see. Left scarred and furious at his treatment, hatred toward the rulers of Yokai grew in Gamuran's heart. When the demon spawn ushered in the age of the Makashtocracy, he was one of the first mortals to pledge themselves to Siroth. Though he wished for his sight to be restored in his ascendance to demonhood, he was bestowed with a gift far greater, the ability to see one's strength of conviction. This demonic power made him invaluable to Makaj, as in an instant he would know whether an individual could be turned to their cause or trusted. He became a judge, jury, and executioner of the regime, and countless prisoners were brought to him one by one to determine whether or not they could be of use. Thousands died on Gamuran's command, but many more lived, as he saw the weakness in their will that would lead to their servitude. As the Makaj's power grew, so too did Gamuran's, and he rose to become a highly senior figure. Weaponizing his gifts in order to gain more influence, he falsely asserted a lack of conviction in his rivals to ruthlessly dispose of any who might challenge him. At the height of the Makaj regime, Gamuran was among the most powerful beings in all of Yokai, a far cry from the lowly stable boy who was blinded for daring to gaze upon a noble's daughter. After the fall of the Makaj, Gamuran was unrepentant. Unwilling to give up the power he had claimed, he continued his work for Siroth with renowned vigor. Taking his most loyal followers and fleeing the reach of the insurgent rebels, he began to build a new order. He knew there would be many across Yokai who felt lost and confused after the destruction of the autocracy and who did not trust the new rebel leadership. Preying upon those insecurities and using his demonic gift to find those who could not easily be manipulated, Gamuran formed a cult around himself. Its numbers swelled to thousands as people were drawn to his preaching, finding solace in his explanation of how they would have been failed by the rebels, and how none but him could see the true direction of which their society was headed. Throughout Yokai, word spread underground of the vitriolic speaker around whom the shunned and forgotten coalesced, a leader bent on ridding the region of the rebel sickness. This was the birth of the Fellowship of True Sight. Building the cult firmly in his own image, Gamuran commanded that all who would follow him must partake in the ritual removal of their eyes so as to better see the truth. While he has far greater ambitions that concern regions beyond even the borders of Yokai, for now, Gamuran must contend with survival. Fearful of both the rebel and a fellow exiled Makaj who remember his scheming, he keeps his Fellowship of True Sight relatively hidden, skulking among the shadows, recruiting those who feel a little lost in his new world. As his army of blinded followers grows, Gamuran plots and waits for the opportunity to restore himself to power in Yokai. When he feels he has a number truly capable of challenging the rebel leadership and subjugating any remaining Makaj demon spawn who would dare defy him, he will present his army to Siroth and ask for gifts and reinforcement to aid him in his ascension. With an army of devout demonic followers as Siroth could provide, all in Yokai will surely fall to his will, and those who will not serve him will be slaughtered. Perhaps then, when he has a whole nation at his mercy, the lowly stable boy who was brutally punished for daring to act above his station will finally feel his need for power has been satisfied. Wow, that is quite a story, you guys. Okay, so yeah, it's like blood magic, and that makes sense. So his eyes were removed, and he starts a cult where people actually join and they have their eyes removed as well too, so they can see better. Okay, that story is pretty twisted, guys. Drop me some comments down below at what you think for the lore story for Gamuran, and thanks so much for watching.